Jeff from Chillin and Grillin with Jeff here. This week we're gonna head over to my buddy Trevor's house and see what he's got going on. He has a pretty unique space and he does some really unique things with that space. Let's head over to his house and see what he's got cooking. As always, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Chillin and Grillin with Jeff. Trevor.
Hey, Jeff.
How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, hey, the place is looking good.
Thank you.
Made a few changes since last time you and I spoke.
Yeah, I just picked everything up, moved it all around.
There you go. So I guess the biggest change is you were kind of on the outskirts. You had a big property, barbecues, you were growing vegetables, hunting, fishing, doing it all. And you kind of moved in and became a city boy.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock after a vegetable garden for 21 years and then having this. But at least now I'm by the river, I can catch fish.
There you go.
Almost whenever I want.
So you were big on field to fork, kind of catching everything, you know, living off the land. And are you still able to do that in the city?
Somewhat, yeah. I use the farms that are surrounding the city and...
So that's a great point. I guess a lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of markets. You can shop on the outskirts right in town, and you're doing that yourself now.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to any of the markets, the Western Fair Market, they're getting produce from local organic farms. And
that's important for you, that it's local?
Oh, yeah. I'd prefer it's growing from our own soil.
You're still able to do some fishing, I guess? We got some water right back here. No problem there.
Yeah. A lot of fishing.
Yeah. What about vegetables? Because you were saying before I know you're buying them at the market right now, but you still dehydrating them all and smoking them and making your own rubs and stuff?
Yeah, I'm still doing that, not as much. I'm just starting to do it again now that I've set up a space for it.
Finding your rhythm a little bit?
Yeah.
So you've got a couple different barbecues going on. You've got a big smoker over here. You've got the Traeger. So what do you like to cook on both these?
The charcoal smoker. I'll do a pulled pork or brisket on the
anything that
on
needs
the charcoal.
to be low and slow, lots of smoke.
Yeah, which I can do with the Traeger as well. I mean, I can control it with my phone and sit upstairs, you know.
So country boys taking advantage of the apps and all the technology, right?
Oh yeah. Wi-Fi. Well, my kitchen's on the second floor, so gonna have a Wi-Fi thermometers and
saves you running up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
So, good. And so you've got this great view back here that kind of reminds you about being back in the country, and you've got the river down here. I see a table down there. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I just thought we could eat down there today. And
is this something you've done before?
Yeah, well, we sit down there quite often. Yeah, set up a table, a little hibachi sometimes.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's go take a look.
Sure.
All right, look at this. Trevor, this is impressive. This is in your backyard. So did you have this in your previous backyard, I wonder?
No, not at all. So no, I had a pool.
Even though you moved into the city, you've got a river flowing through your backyard.
Yeah.
And this is part of the Thames. This is flowing into the Thames?
This is Stony Creek, and the Thames is just over there.
Okay, awesome. And of course, you know, why not put a table and chairs down here?
Why not?
So you truly are making the best of being in the city.
We are, yeah.
Yeah. And do you do some fishing in here in the Thames?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100 meters down the river.
There you go. And you're going to cook us something up for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I am.
Do a little bit of fishing?
Yeah.
So do you have some people coming over to join us?
Yeah, my daughter and her boyfriend are coming over shortly.
And we're going to cook up there, carry it down, and dine.
Yeah.
Waterfront property.
Exactly. Hopefully some ducks or geese will come by.
There you go. So you're going to head out and do some fishing right now?
Sure.
Perfect. Let's go grab your fishing pole, and hopefully you're lucky today because I'm hungry.
Yeah, good.
So Trevor, what do you got in line for the menu today? What are we eating?
Well, we're going to have some salsa to start with some pita chips that I'm going to smoke on the Traeger.
So you actually put the pita chips right on this?
Just like an oven.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some cornbread that I've been playing with for a while on my Traeger, and
cast iron dish?
Cast iron, and just found a new dish to make it look fancy.
Oh, nice.
And I finally figured out the dryness factor, so added some secret ingredients.
So we got some salsa.
Yep.
Done on the Traeger as well.
Yep.
We got some cornbread. What else you got for
and some fresh walleye.
Okay.
Caught
it yourself?
Yeah, caught it myself, and I'll be crusting that with my own rub.
Nice. So that's what you're saying earlier, you make it all yourself. You dry out your own vegetables, you do all that?
Yeah. When I was a vegetable gardener, I used to dehydrate a lot of my vegetables and herbs, and then
so tell me about that process. How do you go about doing that?
Usually end of season, I'll slice them all up and put them in a dehydrator, which is inside. And
then you just kind of grind them up together?
And then once they're dehydrated, and I keep them for a while and grind them up,
Mix them together?
Yeah, and then mix them together.
Okay, so what are we going to have with the walleye? You got any kind of side dish
You
with
have
that?
some local asparagus. You're going to wrap that in some prosciutto and
Oh, nice.
put that on the grill as well.
One of my favorite dishes.
Oh, good.
I'm going to judge you on that one because I love that dish.
Okay, good.
So good.
Good.
And then anything for dessert? It's a barbecue show, so we're probably not going to do dessert.
Yeah, no, I'm going to barbecue some apple crisp in a cast iron pan.
So barbecued apple crisp in a cast iron pan.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a great menu. So I guess we're going to start with the salsa because we have a lot of smoked vegetables in front of us. So tell me first off, again, I go back to this whole thing about the field to fork. So what exactly is that? Because we hear that term a lot. So
Sure. Well, I was raised to eat as much as I could from local farmers because it's grown in our soil. And having allergies, I've learned real quickly that if I have local honey, it's going to help with my immunities for allergies. So, and it's just a health factor to eat something that's organic and from our own land.
And you've been doing that your whole life?
Well, I try. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Right.
But you know, you can go to the local markets and get organic food from the local farmers, or even stop on the side of the road. Like you could drive outside of London and hit a dozen farms easily.
What vegetables do we have? And why do we have two pans? They look different.
Yeah, one is child friendly, and the other one has jalapenos in it.
So not hot and hot.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Well, not hot. Jalapenos lose a lot of their heat in the cooking process.
Right. But it will be a little bit hotter than this one.
Yep.
So what do we have in there? I see onions. I see some big chunks of garlic. Tell me about what vegetables we have in here.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. Mixed peppers, bell peppers, onions, and Roma tomatoes, which I can't get local right now, but they seem to be my favorite.
You sounded very specific with the Roma.
I
tomatoes.
used to grow a lot of Roma tomatoes.
Oh yeah? Why Roma? Why not something else?
I don't just like them. I pick them off the vine and eat them, turn them into tomato sauce, turn them into barbecue sauce. And
So if you're going to do that, you
just-
may as well throw them into the salsa.
yeah, yeah. Anybody can do this on a barbecue.
So it's just a
quick and
rough
easy.
chop of all the vegetables and
Yep.
any oil or seasoning on
A little
it?
bit of oil and some seasoning that, of course, I dehydrated. Some
All right.
additional, there's some paprika, which is really just red pepper,
Okay.
some basil, and some other herbs.
Okay. And so what happens now? You've had these on the smoker, on the wood-fired grill for how long?
A couple hours,
A couple hours? So
Yep.
what temperature?
225. And
So low and slow, just
yeah,
want to soften
low
them
and
up, get
slow.
that flavor going in there?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, what
Yeah.
happens next? Tell me what we're going to do now.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it in the food processor
right.
and zap it a few times.
And now, do you like your salsas kind of chunky, or are you going to go for more
Yeah.
of a...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm just going to zap it a few times just so it's not soup.
So this definitely looks like salsa. I still see some chunks of garlic, so that's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our non-spicy one here,
Yep.
and then we've got our not kid-friendly one. I love the jalapenos, by the way. In my world, jalapenos are a food group,
Oh,
spicy
good.
food. I don't know if you saw me on Jack Up the Heat.
Tacos here, just so you know, there's 5 Carolina Reaper peppers on each taco.
Starts off where you think it's not too bad, then it gets really bad, and then my face is numb. I have no more feeling from my waist up. As far as I can tell, I'm not even talking right now. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And again, you didn't add any oil. All the liquids in here are just what
Just-
comes off the
Just
vegetables.
a spray, just a light spray while it was smoking. I'm just going to put some cilantro in here as well. There's a little basil hiding in there too.
Oh, basil as well. Okay.
There we go.
Wow, that chops it up quick.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Look at the difference in the color in those, eh?
Yeah.
Can't wait to dig into that. Those look fantastic. So we have to have some chips.
Mm-hmm.
So did you just go buy a bag of chips at the grocery store?
No.
No.
Gonna do some pita.
Not you, right? Not
Yeah.
Trevor. So what are we gonna do with these pitas?
Gonna get some oil. I'll just spray them a little bit and dust them with a little salt, pepper, and garlic.
So just garlic, salt, and pepper?
Yeah.
All right, and then this is gonna go on the grill.
Yep.
And you're just gonna let it sit low and slow, get some smoke. What,
Well,
what
this
kind of
is
wood
just gonna
chips?
go on. No, it's at 350 now, so it's 15 minutes, and then we'll cut them up.
So you're gonna throw these on at 350.
Yep.
And what kind of wood chips are you using today? What kind of pellets?
Cherry pellets. I use cherry pellets a lot.
Yeah. How come?
I can smell it. The mesquite, I can't really smell too much. So
All right. So you just like the overall smoky smell, the cherry wood?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's throw these on. Salsa looks fantastic. I love that you're smoking the chips on there, right? Get some of that cherry smoke flavor
little
in
bit,
there.
yeah.
Crisp them up a little bit. It's going to go great with the smoky salsa. And now you're making some cornbread. And Tell me a little bit about what you put together. And this pan's kind of unique. It's going to divide it all up. You won't have to cut it. Lazy man's cornbread, I guess, right?
I found it for $2 at Goodwill, and
Oh, yeah?
and I thought that's great. I can make my cornbread out of it. I normally do it in a big cast iron, but this will make it look nice.
What's in the actual cornbread recipe? What is
Hey,
it?
cornmeal, I use almond flour and butter and
Why
cinnamon.
almond flour?
That's a little bit better for you.
Oh, yeah?
I don't
Again?
know how much. We could argue that all day.
There you go.
Yeah,
And so you're after a little bit more of that health
yeah.
feel
yeah.
to it?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
So you found a way to make cornbread healthy. You know how you make cornbread healthy? You put jalapeno peppers in it.
Oh yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah, I should have, but yeah, and then I add butter.
Okay.
Lots
Butter.
of it.
Lots of butter?
Yeah, and I always made it dry before, so I added a little Greek yogurt.
Oh,
to,
okay. There's
to
an
keep
interesting
it-
twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not dry.
So let's get this cooking.
Sure.
Then.
Yeah.
So how long are we going to cook this for?
This is about 30 minutes and then 10 minutes to rest.
There you go. We're going
We're
to
ready.
have that when we eat the walleye.
Yep.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that come together. It sounds like a good meal.
So just getting it in between all the grooves and we're ready
All right.
to go.
So the cornbread's cooking,
Mhm.
and it's going to take a little while. We got a few minutes to take a break, so we'll sit down and we'll try this salsa, and we'll see if it's good, if it's hot, if it's smoky. Let's give it a shot right now.
Okay.
I have to judge you on how hot it is right now.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you think it's hot.
Well, if you
We'll
want
have our-
hot,
we'll have our own hot pepper competition here.
okay, I have a mason jar inside that's hot.
Not hot, but smoky. Is it ever like a lot of
Good.
smoke? Wow,
You like it?
I do.
I have to be careful with smoke because some people don't like it too much. And
The smoke in here, there's a lot that it really adds to it. It almost doesn't have that salsa taste because there's so much smoke, but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really comes together nicely. Well done. Well done.
thank you.
Good. All right, we filled up on salsa. We got a little bit of time. The cornbread's looking good on the Traeger.
Mhm.
And now we got some walleye. When I was a kid, we would go pickerel fishing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
In the
yeah.
lake.
And then I learned later on that the real name is walleye.
The real name is walleye. Okay, all right. So what are we going to do now? You got some asparagus, and I'm going to guess it's local?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, Adelaide Farms, just up the road.
Oh, nice. Okay. And what are you going to do with that today?
Just a little oil and a little seasoning, and roll it in some prosciutto.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get the main course going here. We're all getting hungry.
Yes. Oh, and a little balsamic.
A little balsamic vinegar as well. Yeah. Toss that around. And what's in the mixture that you're seasoning it with?
Pepper flakes, onion flakes. I like it chunky when I put it on fish. And,
Why is that?
and basil and lemon.
Why does
So
it being chunkier make a difference?
I think there's more flavor to it.
Yeah.
And I don't like dust. If I'm going to use dust, then it might be something like a pork shoulder
Right.
or brisket, right?
Yeah.
And
On the
then
fish, you want to know those seasonings are there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
maybe
wanna
a little
see
bit
it
of
and
crisp,
feel
a
the-
little bit
yeah.
of crunch to it.
feel the crunch
A little
to
bit
it.
of texture. Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's just a little more flavor. And when you get dehydrated herbs and vegetables,
Right.
it's
And do you add that to your asparagus as well?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit in
All
there
right,
too.
good. All right, let's do it.
Okay. We don't need much because we have the prosciutto, which is plenty of salt in it.
And then we're going to throw this on the smoker, let that prosciutto get nice and crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Let it all get happy.
Yeah.
Why don't I jump in, give you a hand?
Sure.
We'll get
Thanks.
some of these wrapped up, and then we'll get that fish cooking. All right, so we're going to cook up some walleye,
Yes.
one of my favorites.
Uh-huh.
So what's the trick?
I normally deep fry it, but I like to be a little healthier, so I'm just going to,
Anybody can deep fry fish,
Yeah, yeah.
right? The trick is doing it up on the barbecue and making it taste amazing.
right,
so.
right. I normally put it on the grill with the skin on, but we
Right.
can take some skin off today. And
Well, why don't we do it both ways and see,
Sure.
compare the two?
Sure.
So why do you normally leave the skin on? Does it add more flavor, or it's just easier to barbecue?
Yeah, it's
or?
easier to barbecue. Like catfish, I can put right on the grill; it won't fall apart.
Right.
But walleye will, and or I can just put it on the separate grill and take it all off at once.
So it looks like you've cleaned up some fish before,
Yeah, a few times.
a few times. So we'll see. We'll do a taste test. We'll see if it makes a difference with the skin on and then skin off. We'll see
Sure.
if we
Yeah.
can-
Well,
we
you're going
can
to get
see
some
what
smoke permeating through the bottom,
we- Right.
so it'll be a little bit
Okay,
of smoke, not
good.
too much, but a little extra
All right.
flavor.
We got 3 nice sized fillets there.
Yep. So I'm just gonna put again my own rub on here, stick or binder as they call it.
Can't go wrong with putting a little fresh oil on there, right?
And then once I put my fingers in here, I got to use it all.
So you'd like to coat it on there pretty thick, eh?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You're looking for that crunch.
Yeah, that chunk. And I use lemon peels, dehydrated lemon peel. I used to grow lemon basil, which I love, but I can't find it, at least not in mass quantity.
Right.
Said lemon basil is amazing on fish.
Now, in theory, it should taste better because there's more seasoning. But then again, the skin should add some more flavor on these two as well. So it'll be interesting to see which ones taste better.
Yeah, it'll keep its natural flavor in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Put that on the tray that we're going to slide right on the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And then what temperature are you going to cook this at?
350, same as the asparagus. So they'll both probably should be done at the same time.
And you caught this walleye yourself?
Yes.
All right. Nice and fresh. All right, well, let's get this cooking up on the grill. Let's throw it on. We're going to do the asparagus both ways?
Yep.
Some without the prosciutto, some with it?
Yep.
All right, let me give you an answer on it on the grill. All right, so you mentioned dessert on the barbecue. We've seen it a few times. Not too many people venture into the world of doing barbecue desserts.
Yeah.
But you were all over it.
Yeah.
So
I did red velvet cupcakes for my daughter's grad. Yeah.
On the barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
Do you find the smoke changes the flavor, or how do you feel
it
about
was just a tiny, tiny bit. Just a kiss of cherry smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do we have tonight for dessert?
We have an apple crisp with local Honeycrisp apples.
And how do you put all this together? What's the secret to making a good apple crisp?
That's my mom's secret. I can't give it up.
Oh, okay. All right. Give us the basics then without tipping the scales.
Yeah, brown sugar and butter and a little cinnamon and.
You're almost like a French chef. A little bit of butter on everything. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Butter and cream. It's the way to go.
So you got your apples in there, and then you sprinkle out with brown sugar, some cinnamon, cover with the oatmeal
and honey.
And honey.
Yeah. Yep. Local Monroe honey from Alvinston.
And then you throw this on the barbecue for about a half an hour or so?
An hour.
About an hour?
Yeah, and then half an hour to rest.
Let it rest, and then we'll dig into it. Looking forward to trying this one. All right, well, this looks great. Bubbling away. It looks fantastic. Let's check the barbecue. I got a feeling everything's done. We'll plate everything up and head down to the river.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, Trevor, I gotta say, I already feel like I'm not in the city anymore, so I see why you picked out the spot.
Yeah.
We've eaten in some backyards. We barbecued in some backyards that were huge, that had waterfalls and multiple barbecues, the whole 9 yards. But we haven't had this. This is pretty incredible, right here in the city of London. So I'm not sure that you sacrificed anything moving into a smaller location.
No,
you're still doing the whole field to fork thing. You're buying local. You may as well grow your own vegetables. Same thing when you're buying that close to home. I love your stories about the maple syrup and all the the rubs and herbs and drying them and putting them all together, mixing them all up. I love that you caught the walleye, and we're gonna do a little taste test right now. See if we can tell the difference.
The skin on or no
Put the skin on or not? And try your homemade fish rub, I guess we'll call it.
Sure. Artisan rub.
Oh wow! So honest opinion when you try the one with the skin, we'll see what we like better. For me, I think it's the one with the skin on it. I think the skin brings more flavor to it. It's maybe a little more moist than the other one without.
Yeah.
Dried out a bit much.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, the skin kept the moisture in it.
Yeah, for sure. Good.
Prosciutto.
So now you said this is the first time you've done the asparagus with the prosciutto on it. Oh, one of my favorites. I could eat that every day. What do you think? First time you did it. What do you think?
Love it.
Love it?
Love it.
Cornbread, simple.
Yeah.
Still warm out of the pan. Pretty moist. And it's a keeper. So I guess with the cornbread, that's that Greek yogurt that you put in, right? That's helping keep some of the moisture in there.
Yeah.
What were some of the other things you put in there? It was just basically.
You could put sour cream instead of Greek yogurt.
Yeah, and lots of butter.
Lots of butter. Always butter and cream.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. For sitting on the barbecue, as long as it did, it's super moist. So great job on everything. We enjoyed the salsa earlier. Going to dig into the rest of this meal. Can't wait to try that apple crisp. But before I dig into that, I just wanted to say thanks for the invite. This has been great. I can't believe I'm sitting right here in the city of London enjoying some fresh caught walleye sitting by the river. Who knew?
Can't hear any cars.
I can't hear any cars. No, you'd think I was up at the cottage. So this is great. Once again, thanks.
You're welcome.
We'll
Thank
get you
you
on the show once again for sure so I can come back and enjoy this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
We're back with Nathan from the Canadian Barbecue Boys. He shared some tips with us on firing up the grill for the first time at the beginning of the season. If you're like me, you cook all the time, nonstop, so maintaining the grill throughout the season has got to have some importance. So what are some tricks and some tips that you can share with us on maintaining our barbecue?
The main thing during the season, you know, it's the summer, you really just want to kind of enjoy the pool, enjoy the atmosphere, right? And kind of just get on there and grill. So again, just taking that initial layer of, you know, the existing layer on and on. It's easier to, you know, maintain it than doing it originally, right? Starting it off, but obviously getting in there with your scraper after every cook, make sure you heat it up, scrape away at it, and get as much of that layer.
That's a great point. I was going to ask that. Is it better, easier, preferred to clean the grill when it's cold, or does it work better once it's heated up for a while? What's the better way to clean the grill?
Listen, I don't know about you, but when I'm grilling, I don't want to go back out to the barbecue, heat it back up again, and then wait for it to cool down again. Right. So, you know, I like to throw the steaks on, you know, on the plate, throw it on the table, quickly go back while it's hot and fire it up,
okay.
Right?
We're using this right now, but these are in the news a lot. Should we be using this one right now? You see the wooden scrapers. What's the theory behind that?
What we found with the very cheap ones is that I've actually been out cleaning before, and it was I was with it was a mother who had 2 kids, and I was cleaning the barbecue, and midway through cleaning the barbecue, I saw a bristle sticking out of one of the grates. It was caked on so thick, and there was just a little bristle in between. Wow. And I was like, that could have been a disaster, right? So, I mean, for the most part, they just fall through, right? But there is obviously that you hear about the horror stories.
So do you recommend going with the wooden ones or just anything other than the metal?
You just have to get a high quality metal one if you're going to, but even the wooden ones can be tough. So the best ones are the high quality steel ones. Yeah, wood if you're concerned about that, for sure. Yeah.
You know, there's rodents all summer long. What's keeping them out of my barbecue throughout the season?
The first one obviously is a clean drip tray under there. You don't want to screw around with that too much. You want to make sure that they can't get their paws up there. And I can quickly show you, for the most part, you want to make sure that you're maintaining this side of the drip tray and drip pan. So I'll just slide this out of your barbecue here. A lot of the time that dries up. It could just be flakes, right? That's mainly what you're going to see in the drip pan or the drip tray. This is the drip pan here. But you just want to make sure that you're clearing that out every so often. So you want to make sure that you're constantly, scraping out the drip tray and the drip pan, making sure that everything is all good there. Another great technique is, as I said, that's, you can smell it as well, I'm sure. Throwing in some bounce dryer sheets. Rats and mice seem to hate it, but they'll definitely stay away more likely in the grill. Just don't put them too, don't stuff them into where the firebox is, or they're going to sit on fire, right? You kind of just want to line the bottom of the cabinets with them so that they that they stay away a little bit more.
What about fire hazards? Is that a real thing with barbecues? Do people lose control and have much larger fires?
Absolutely, yeah. We've seen some horror stories with that. Obviously, even when you're not staring at your grill right away, you may walk away, and things just set on fire, right? Even in the bottom of the grill, we've seen barbecues, as I said, that thick with grease in there, and that's the main reason why fires start in the bottom of the grills. There was one person we went to go see who had a massive grease fire when they first opened it up for the season, and they just ran inside, grabbed baking soda, and just threw it on top. When we went out there, the entire grill was just white and cooked on. Oh, wow. It was.
Were you able to save it? Were you able to get it
we
clean?
brought it back for sure. Yeah. We brought it back, but it was not a good story.
Appreciate you sharing some stories on how to maintain the grill.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks again.